Okay, we're with Joe Balog. Joe, you fish the Great Lakes. Your home waters are Lake St. Clair and Lake Erie. This is big water. Big water takes special boat preparation. What are some of the things that you do that enable you to perform better and more safely on the water in the Great Lakes?
That's a good question. You know, there's a couple things I see people, bass boat guys will say, in particular, that they don't necessarily consider when it comes to fishing the Great Lakes. The first is I carry a big anchor. This is about a 20-pound anchor. It's got 4 feet of galvanized chain on it, and I carry about 200 feet of rope. There's a reason for this. If your boat breaks down on a reservoir or on a river somewhere, almost always you can get up to the bank and tie off to a boat dock or tie off to a tree. If we break down out in the middle of Lake Erie, and land may be 3, 4, 10 miles away, there's no way that my trolling motor necessarily is going to get me to safe harbor. So I need an anchor for sure to anchor my boat before I would drift in and be in a dangerous situation. A little 12-pound dumbbell anchor with 10 feet of rope on it is not going to cut it out here. You need a big heavy anchor. It's got to have a lot of chain on it. That helps get the anchor down and helps it dig, and a bunch of big heavy rope. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, in this box, this is a waterproof polycarbonate box, and in this box is an emergency bilge pump. Okay, and what that is that's a 1,000-gallon-per-hour bilge pump. I've got about 12 feet of wire on it with 2 big alligator clips and 8 to 10 feet of discharge hose. And hopefully I'll never use this pump. But there has been situations where I've pumped out broken down boats with it before. And the great thing about this is, in the event that my boat has 2 big bilge pumps built in. If for some reason I lose all the power in my boat, my keypad goes out, whatever it may be, an electrical problem, this pump can just be clipped to any one of my 4 batteries in the boat. I can throw the pump down in the bottom of the boat, run the discharge hose over the side, and I can safely pump my boat out even if I don't have any power in my boat. You know, as long as I've got a battery with some power, which you always have some power in one of 4 batteries. So I can just put that on, leave it on constant, it'll run, and it can get me hopefully afloat, and I can go into a safe harbor. The last thing is, on my trolling motor, I've got, I'm sure you'll be able to see this, I've got just your standard rig of your trolling motor with my tie-down strap and my stabilizer bar. Okay, this being my stabilizer bar. But one thing that I've done is I've put an eye bolt. I've actually drilled an eye bolt down in the deck of my boat, put a little epoxy in there, and I put this eye bolt in permanently. The reason for that, when I put my trolling motor up in its mount, it still will have a little bit of play. So what I do is take this bungee cord, run it through my eye bolt, run it around the mount of my trolling motor, and then back through the eye bolt, and it pins it down against that stabilizer bar. Okay, so that really adds to the stability of my trolling motor mount. I just couple that with your normal strap up front, and man, that thing is rock solid up there on the mount. So those are 3 things I really see the most when it comes to Great Lakes and big water fishing. People beat up their trolling motors because they're not secure and they're not necessarily safe. So you got to have a big anchor and an emergency bilge pump. Do those 3 things and it'll take you a long way out on the Great Lakes and keep you safe.